Thinning hair sucks. Whether it's just a thinning area that you're noticing or it's overall thinning, I don't want to lose my hair. I don't care if that's vain. I also happen to be an actor, and keeping a full head of hair is important to me and definitely an advantage in this business. He doesn't have to worry about that. These are the things that have worked and continue to work for me. Are there other things out there? Yes, but today I want to tell you about the 4 things that I do that have made a huge difference in the way my hair looks and feels. We're going to cover medication, topical scalp serums, growth encouraging shampoos, and red light therapy. And at the end, I will tell you a bit more about some newer, expensive, yes, but very promising solutions as well. You could get injections in your scalp of your own plasma. Getting PRP injections in your scalp for hair growth sounds fancy and high-tech, and it's expensive, trust me. But unfortunately, now that we're past 30 or 40, our plasma isn't exactly the sparkling fountain of youth that it used to be. It's more like a flat soda. So injecting it back into your scalp is kind of like sprinkling wilted lettuce on your bald spot and hoping for a salad to grow. It's super depressing, I know. But there are some very promising alternatives to PRP, and we'll get to those in chapter 4. I've had a lot of success with my routine over the last few years, and I want to share my 4-step approach to full hair with you. All right, chapter 1, medication. I take Minoxidil as a pill. It just works for me without any side effects. When it comes to treating hair loss, there are several medications available, from oral options like finasteride, dutasteride, and, like I said, oral minoxidil, and then the topical things, minoxidil or Rogaine, but there's now also topical finasteride and topical dutasteride. With so many choices, figuring out which one is right for you can feel quite overwhelming. I actually have a full video on my channel where I break down all of these treatments and how they compare, and it'll pop up at the end of this video, but also I'll list it in the description box. But today we're gonna zoom in on oral minoxidil, which is what I personally take and want to share my experience with. I used to apply minoxidil as a foam, as in Rogaine, but I just thought the twice per day application was very annoying and it would cause scalp itchiness from time to time. So I switched to oral minoxidil just to try it, and it's been working great. Minoxidil was actually discovered by accident. It was a blood pressure pill in the 1970s, and doctors noticed patients were suddenly growing a lot of hair. It works for hair loss by improving blood circulation to scalp follicles and extending the hair growth phase, but you do need a prescription for it. So here's how it helps prevent hair loss and promote regrowth. Studies show that low-dose oral minoxidil can be effective for both men and women with hair loss. Minoxidil relaxes blood vessels and improves blood circulation. This increases oxygen and nutrient delivery to hair follicles, supporting healthier and thicker hair growth. It's like opening the floodgates for nutrients and oxygen to reach the follicle. And our hair grows in cycles, with the anagen phase being the active growth period. Oral minoxidil prolongs this phase, preventing premature shedding and promoting sustained hair growth. And it also reduces miniaturization of hair follicles, which is huge. In conditions like androgenetic alopecia, male and female pattern baldness, hair follicles shrink over time. Minoxidil counteracts this miniaturization and helps hair grow thicker and stronger. And then minoxidil opens potassium channels in hair follicle cells, which may help reactivate dormant follicles and promote the regrowth of hair in thinning areas. Side effects of low-dose oral minoxidil are generally mild but dose-dependent. Now, the largest multi-center study to date, published in 2021, evaluated over 1,400 patients and found hypertrichosis, excessive hair growth on the face or body, which I have not noticed, in 15.1%, leading to discontinuation in only 0.5% of cases. Some people who take oral minoxidil do experience heart palpitations. I know someone who does, as a side effect, and he stopped taking it since. And since minoxidil was originally developed as an oral blood pressure medication, it relaxes blood vessels, which lowers blood pressure, but can also make the heart beat faster to compensate. Other potential side effects include lightheadedness, but that's only in 1.7% of users, and fluid retention in 1.3%. I have not noticed any of these, maybe a bit more beard growth around my cheeks, but I might be imagining that. I've not noticed any increased hair growth anywhere else on my body. So to summarize, oral minoxidil increases blood flow and promotes growth. Most people do need to give it 6 months before judging results, and the best improvements often show up after 12 months. Some users see an initial shedding in the first 2 to 8 weeks, which is usually a sign the medication is working. So your old hairs are making way for stronger, newer ones. But results are not permanent, and that applies to all of these medications, right? Finasteride, all of it. Hair gained or maintained will be lost if the medication is discontinued, which is why I would never rely on minoxidil or any pharmaceutical solution alone. My routine for full hair covers a lot more bases. So now a quick note on finasteride or Propecia and why I don't take it. Finasteride was originally developed in the 1990s to treat enlarged prostates, but when researchers noticed that patients also regrew hair, it quickly became the most widely prescribed hair loss medication, though it remains controversial because of its potential hormonal side effects. That is because finasteride works hormonally by inhibiting the enzyme 5-alpha reductase, which converts testosterone into dihydrotestosterone, or DHT. Since DHT is the androgen that shrinks follicles and pattern hair loss, lowering it slows or reverses miniaturization, but it does so by changing hormone activity across the entire body. The problem is that systematically lowering DHT can cause unwanted side effects in some men, including decreased libido, erectile issues, and even mood changes. Now, most of the more persistent side effects were reported in men taking the higher 5 milligram dose, which was prescribed for prostate enlargement, but the side effects, while less common, can still occur at the lower 1 milligram hair loss dosage. But if you're taking it and you have no side effects, keep taking it. It works very well. But it does make sense that it's not a great idea to lower DHT throughout the body, because DHT also plays important roles in mood, libido, overall hormonal balance, right? So reducing it everywhere can cause more harm than good. So I don't take it. I prefer using a topical scalp serum as well as a shampoo with a natural DHT blocker, ingredients like rosemary leaf extract, right? Which act locally on the scalp instead of disrupting hormone balance throughout the body. This way you can still protect your follicles from DHT's effects while avoiding these systemic hormonal changes that sometimes come with oral finasteride. Which brings us to chapter 2, scalp serums. I use a scalp serum every other night. I leave it on overnight and then wash my hair in the morning. I don't want to wash my hair every day, as I don't want to dry out my scalp too much. So this routine really works well for me. Scalp serum every other night before I wash my hair in the morning. There are a few really great serums out there. I made an entire video comparing 4 awesome serums. I will also tag that video at the end of this one as well as in the description box. Scalp serums with DHT lowering ingredients and circulation boosting actives are an essential tool for keeping hair full and healthy. By targeting DHT directly at the scalp, natural blockers like rosemary extract, caffeine, or wheat germ extract, licorice root extract is another one. They help protect follicles from shrinking without disrupting hormone balance throughout the entire body. At the same time, circulation boosting compounds such as peptides or ginger extract, or again, rosemary extract, increase blood flow and nutrient delivery to the follicles, creating the ideal environment for stronger, thicker growth. Also, some scalp serums are wonderful for lowering inflammation in the scalp. Vitamins A and C, also ginger extract, and again, licorice root extract and rosemary leaf extract. These are superstar ingredients with a lot of evidence for their powerful benefits. Serums are a great option not only for people who prefer to avoid medication altogether, but also for those who do take finasteride or minoxidil and want to enhance their results with a complementary, localized approach. I would never just do one thing and wait. Why not do everything you can? Especially when these things aren't very expensive. Like I said, there are great serums out there. Again, watch my dedicated video on them later. I really like my serum that I've developed with a certified lab here in the US, and it includes Densidil, which is a patented and award-winning complex made from microalgae. Microalgae is packed with bioactive compounds, antioxidants, and amino acids that help energize hair follicles, boost scalp microcirculation, and create an optimal environment for growth. Its nutrient density not only strengthens your existing strands, but also helps protect follicles from oxidative stress and inflammation, which are two major drivers of thinning hair. I won't give you a whole pitch on why I love the serum. It's included in the other video all about serums, but here's just a few sentences about what makes the ASLF Hair Boost Growth Serum so good. This is the first serum to combine Densidil with Bicapil, rosemary oil, ginger, and licorice root extract, and also vitamins A and C. Let's look at what these ingredients do. Densidil is a blend of vitamin C, amino acids, and microalgae extracts like chlorella and spirulina. It helps boost collagen, energizes follicles, and protects the scalp from oxidative stress. Bicapil is made from something I cannot pronounce, I'll put it somewhere up here, as well as soy and wheat sprouts. It is backed by independent studies showing it can reduce shedding and stimulate new growth by keeping follicles in the active growth phase longer. Rosemary extract improves circulation, lowers inflammation, and may block DHT. In fact, one study found it worked just as well as 2% minoxidil after 6 months. Licorice root extract calms irritation, lowers inflammation, and may reduce DHT as well, though most of the evidence so far is early stage. Ginger extract supports circulation, reduces inflammation, and has antioxidants and antimicrobials to keep the scalp healthy. And finally, vitamins A and C. Vitamin A helps regulate scalp oils, while vitamin C boosts collagen and protects follicles from oxidative stress. Vitamin C also improves iron absorption, which is key for strong, healthy hair. And my serum is very affordable. It's a 2-ounce bottle, which lasts you quite a while, and this makes it cheaper than most serums out there per ounce. So check out the link in the description box if you're interested, and let's go to chapter 3, shampoos that encourage growth. Like I said, I use the serum every other night in the evening, leave it on overnight, and then I wash my hair. So let's talk about shampoos. I use a shampoo that contains growth-encouraging ingredients around 3 times per week. In general, I would suggest you look for shampoos that are free of sulfates and harsh detergents, because that really dries out your scalp. And instead, look for shampoos that contain ingredients like caffeine, rosemary oil, or saw palmetto, pumpkin seed oil, all of which have been studied for supporting hair health. I would stay away from shampoos that only have rosemary oil or tea tree or peppermint oil. I don't think those do much besides feel very cooling and smell minty, which I'm not crazy about. Right now, this is my go-to shampoo. I have no affiliation to this company. They're not sponsoring this video. It's the thickening shampoo from Feel Confident. I'm not crazy about the brand name, but it's a great shampoo. It has gentle cleansers plus ingredients that reduce excess DHT in the scalp. I massage it in for about 2 minutes before I rinse it so the nutrients really get into the follicles. I think this shampoo really stands out because it combines caffeine for circulation and follicle stimulation, which is one of the best studied topical ingredients for hair loss. It also contains natural DHT blockers, saw palmetto, pumpkin seed oil, and saw palmetto is a natural 5-alpha reductase inhibitor, which means it can help reduce conversion of testosterone to DHT. And it works locally in a shampoo to minimize systemic effects. And this shampoo provides anti-inflammatory support via turmeric. Turmeric is an anti-inflammatory and antioxidant, helping reduce scalp inflammation that can worsen shedding. The only thing I don't love is that it contains fragrance. I always prefer a fragrance-free product, but it's very light and pretty unisex, so I'll take it. But I think this shampoo gives you a real edge for helping maintain hair density compared to a standard shampoo. Check out the link below. Again, no affiliation or sponsorship with this company. Okay, on to chapter 4, red light therapy. Red light therapy is one of the most exciting non-invasive technologies in health and wellness today. By using specific wavelengths of red and near-infrared light, it stimulates our cells' mitochondria, which are the powerhouses of the cell, to produce more energy in form of ATP. This boost in energy helps reduce inflammation, speed up tissue repair, ease joint discomfort, and even stimulate collagen production for smoother, healthier skin. It's a natural way to enhance the body's own repair systems without drugs, injections, or any downtime. Now, when it comes to hair, red light therapy has been shown to re-energize dormant follicles and improve scalp circulation. The light penetrates the scalp, encouraging follicles stuck in the resting or telogen phase to shift into the active growth phase. It's called the anagen phase. At the same time, it strengthens existing follicles, it reduces shedding, and it creates a healthier scalp environment by lowering inflammation. Multiple clinical studies have demonstrated that consistent use of red light devices can significantly increase hair count and thickness in people experiencing thinning or pattern hair loss, making it one of the best natural approaches for supporting fuller, healthier hair. One of the most compelling studies was a randomized, double-blind, controlled clinical trial of 110 men with androgenetic alopecia, which showed that those using an FDA-cleared red light device had significantly greater hair growth versus placebo over about 26 weeks. Another standout is a large meta-analysis of randomized controlled trials which found that FDA-approved home-use red light devices produced a meaningful increase in hair density in both men and women, with effects large enough to rival common treatments when used consistently. Together, these studies really provide strong evidence that red light therapy is more than just anecdote. It can really deliver real measurable improvements in hair count, thickness, and scalp health when used properly. I use a device made by iRestore. It's the iRestore Professional. I've recently made a video all about it and why I like it so much. It really takes these benefits to the next level by combining medical grade lasers and LEDs to deliver powerful, consistent coverage across the entire scalp. They're not sponsoring this video, but they did sponsor another video of mine, so go check out that discount link. I think it's still active. It is FDA cleared and it's hands-free, which makes it easy to use at home, and it's 25 minutes a few times per week. It has a portable battery pack so you can move around or work at a computer while it treats your scalp, and the design of the helmet ensures that even hard to reach areas like the crown get full coverage, and it's backed by clinical research and recommended by dermatologists. I'll put the link in the description box, but again, they are not sponsoring this video, but you can still take advantage of the discount. Bonus time. What about injectables? Getting something done in clinic. I already mentioned PRP and why using your own plasma might not be very effective. There is also Wharton's jelly and exosomes. Let's talk about these. Wharton's jelly and exosome injections represent a newer, more cutting-edge approach. Exosomes scalp therapy and Wharton's jelly injections are both regenerative approaches for hair restoration, but they work in different ways. Exosomes are tiny extracellular vehicles released by stem cells that carry concentrated growth factors, proteins, and genetic signals to instruct hair follicle cells to regenerate, to reduce inflammation, and to improve circulation. They act as powerful messenger packets without containing whole cells. Wharton's jelly injections, on the other hand, deliver the actual stem cells and rich extracellular matrix components like hyaluronic acid and collagen from umbilical cord tissue, providing both regenerative cells and a structural scaffold for repair, right? Now, in short, exosomes focus on signaling and communication, while Wharton's jelly provides living regenerative material plus supportive matrix, both promising but mechanistically distinct. The umbilical cord that Wharton's jelly is obtained from is donated by screened mothers after C-section deliveries and then processed in FDA-registered tissue banks or biotech labs to isolate the stem cells and extracellular matrix. I mean, it's pretty science fiction, right? Exosomes, on the other hand, are produced in lab conditions from cultured stem cells, which are often derived from umbilical cords or bone marrow. Both these therapies aim to bypass the limitations of PRP by delivering younger, more potent regenerative factors. And while this is still relatively new and not as widely studied, early evidence suggests they may offer stronger, more consistent stimulation of hair growth compared to PRP, though cost and accessibility remain challenges. This is very expensive stuff. So the field is still early and overall safety concerns remain. There's a lack of standardized protocols for how exosomes are collected, purified, dosed, and delivered, which raises risk of contamination, right? Variable potency or unintended immune reactions. Regulatory oversight is also inconsistent, meaning treatments offered in some clinics may be unapproved or not fully validated. And long-term follow-ups are also limited, so possible delayed side effects are not well understood. So I am staying clear of this stuff for now, but I'll definitely make a video about this in the future as more studies come out. And that is it for today. Thanks for watching. Check out my video all about serums next. Take care.